Hey folks, y'all see the title of this video. And shout out to my man Boss Tweed. Cause y'all know I know him in real life, as in used to see him every day. Cause I don't have TikTok. So when I get stuff, normally, it's from somebody that has TikTok, Boss Tweed, Carrie, Truth Teller, one of them. Okay. Now, the people that's known me for a while and been around for a while know that I built and opened a community store from the ground up. Convenience store, gas station, soda pops, chip, beer, cigarettes, lottery tickets. So, the normal stuff. Okay. Was it a hard grind? Yes. Was it painstaking? Yes. In the long run, was it worth it to me? Yes and no. The yes part, but I'm like, man, this is painful. It is painful dealing with certain people. But I turned it over to a friend of mine, been knowing since we were kids. And I've said it before, I'll say it again. Without his help, I don't think I would have built it in the first place. I don't even think I would have attempted it without his help and his brother's help and another family friend. But anyway, and my uncle, got shout out to Uncle Maurice for fixing all them used chillers and beverage coolers and whatnot that I bought broken, and he repaired them. And he said, "Hey, turn them on, nephew. What? Plug them in, turn them on. Yeah. Do it light up. Yeah. Do you hear the motor kick in? It's buzzing, but it ain't getting cold. Does the fan spin? Yeah, buy it." He said, "It don't buzz. No, fan don't spin. Yeah, get your test light. Get your multimeter or your test light. Is voltage going to the fan? Yeah, but the fan ain't spinning. Yeah, get it." Okay, got him cheap. Well, relatively cheap, and he fixed them all. He sure did, but that's what he does. So anyway, I'm listening to this lady here. Now, I have no idea who this is, but he just shot it to me like, "Yo, man, I know you gonna dig this," because he know who I am. He know where my place is. He know the store. He know all that. Okay. Some of what she's saying, I'll give it some credence. But there's a big part that she's missing, and I'll cover that part at the end. So let's go ahead and listen to this young lady, and then we'll go on from there. All right. All right.
Yes, this is really important. Asian Americans were redlined from opening businesses in white neighborhoods because white people didn't want Asian Americans operating in their neighborhoods and didn't want Asian Americans profiting off of white people. But because the positionality of Asian Americans is weaponized to oppress Black people, Asian Americans were being given loans to open businesses in Black communities, even though Black people were not able to receive loans to open businesses in their own communities. And as I've said before, as a result of this, Black wealth is essentially paid out twice when it goes to Asian American businesses. Once when the individual pays for the goods or services, and then again when the Asian American business owner removes the profit from the community. Because usually people open businesses in their own communities, and this is mutually beneficial, where the business owner is making a livelihood off of providing goods and services to their community. And by being a member of the community, they're contributing and they're investing back into the community. This is an ideal situation, and that is not what happens with Asian American businesses operating in Black communities.
Okay, so you heard what she got to say. Now, the loan process is true. It's true. It's been true for a long time. I didn't even really bother attempting to get a loan, because when you get a loan, then you're beholden to the person that's loaning it to you. So I'm like, okay, I can get this loan and start out super funky fresh and hope everything go right. Or I can start out with my own little pocket money. I didn't have much, but I fought and scraped for what I had. And if it fails, okay, I'm out of money, but I don't owe anybody anything, if that makes sense. I'll still have the equipment because I bought my own equipment, bought my own cash register. It wasn't a lot of money. I didn't buy anything extravagant or super duper top shelf. The shelves we bought were used. We had to rent. I had to rent a freaking sandblaster and blasted them behind the store before I even signed the lease to the place. And bought a cheap Harbor Freight Binks style paint gun and paint from Home Depot and thinner and everything. And we sprayed them out there in the back, let them sit for a couple of days to air out and dry before we put them in the store. Used shelves, used everything. Well, no, the cash register was new. And when you get, like the cigarette vendor, they'll give you a rack. They give it to you. When you sign a contract with a big soda company, which I didn't do beverage company, they'll give you chillers and coolers. Now, my ice machine was new. The microwave was new. A couple other things was new, but it was more used stuff than it was new. But anyway, onward. Now, none of what she said would mean nothing if you didn't buy from them. I'll give you an example. Let's say, even though they wouldn't even allow me to get the land, but y'all see what I look like. That's me. That's me. You looking at me. Wave at the bad guy. Yeah, that's me. I wouldn't let's say I go to open a whatever, my type of store, shoe store, cleaner, any damn thing. And I go to try to open something in Chinatown. Okay, I'll just say it like any other community that isn't mine or a middle class and under white community. Arabs, Asians, Hispanics, Irish, pick one. Well, technically Italians are white, technically. Them Poles, Czechs, they're technically they're white. So I get that, but y'all know what I mean. Number one, the odds of me being able to get the property, purchase or lease or rent is slim to none. But let's just, for the sake of arguments, let's say that, Mr. Fill in the blank decided to, that he'd rent it to me, lease it to me, or whatever the hell. Okay, young man, sign right here. When are you opening up? Well, it should take me about 2 months because I got to get it painted and get code compliance out here and everything. Well, okay, call me if you need anything. Okay. Get opened up, right? Sign up, nice, done all the same shelves, all the stuff that I was just talking about. Nice, clean, shiny coolers. Everything that's cold is cold. Supposed to be cold is cold. Everything that's supposed to be frozen is frozen. All the smokes, all the lottery tickets, all the sodas, the chips, the candies, the gums, even the ethnic ones for the area that I'm in. No hood stuff, right? They wouldn't know it. They wouldn't know what I got in the store. Ask me why they wouldn't know what I have in the store. Y'all ask me. That's because none of them would come in my store. Not to purchase anything. I wouldn't make one red cent off of the inhabitants of that neighborhood, from man, woman, or child. That's why. But they are moving to the black neighborhood. People will complain, whine, and this, that, and other. But you go in there. Well, go in there because I ain't got nowhere else to go. Okay. Well, I remember I'm old enough to remember black businesses in neighborhoods when I was a kid in Detroit. And I ain't had no money. I'm just a kid. But the TV repair store, the record store, the fruit stand, the news, the corner thing there on the corner where the guy sold the papers, had all the papers and magazines and all that other stuff. I remember all that stuff. But then when somebody else came, you stopped shopping with your own. I'm telling you, as a black business owner, the hardest customers that I have to deal with are my own. And I take no glee in saying that. It burns me. It gives me heartburn to say it or admit it when people ask me. I hate when people ask me. Well, I don't hate that when people ask me. I hate that I'm going to tell them the truth, and I hate what the truthful answer is. But ain't nothing I can do about it. And at this age, at the age I'm at now, it is what it is. I just step on over it. I'm not trying to fix it. But anyway, so what she said is pretty true, but she left out the rest. Just like when that Jenny Mai chick said about the black businesses and the Asians in the black neighborhood, you know, when we go there, and then when the blacks come to our neighborhoods, yeah, but they just come to your neighborhood to buy. She said it, and I don't think none of them other chicks caught it, or they just that deaf or daft, or they know, but they're programmed to shut the hell up too. I'll put a link to that Jenny Mai one in here too, and I'll try to find the timeline, but the video isn't very long, but it's very telling. Anyway, just wanted to drop that one on you. Thanks, Brother Tweed. I appreciate you dropping this one on me. Like I say, she said her part, but she left out the part that I gave you. Loans or not, whether number one, the Asians ain't gonna sell it to you, lease it to you. They ain't gonna do it. The Euro white, they ain't gonna give it. They ain't gonna lease or sell it to you. The Hispanics, they ain't gonna lease it or sell it to you. You can forget it. They ain't gonna rent it to you. Nope. Like I said, but by chance you get one that really don't care to saying, hey, a rent is a rent. When are you moving in? Hey, it's $2,000 a month. The deposit for the lights and water is $500. Trash day is Thursday. You know, and you gotta have it out by 9 o'clock. I mean, okay, you throwing your money away. You won't sell one chip. You might sell a bottle of water to the guy that you renting it from. Just him, hey, how's it going there? Get him a bottle of water, give you his $1.50, talk to you, collect his rent, and walk out. He know you ain't gonna make it there. That's the difference between them and the garden variety African American Negro. It's sad, but it's true.
Asian American businesses have been operating in Black communities for 60 years. I'll say it again. The Civil Rights Act passed in 1964, and the United States opened the door to Asian immigration in 1965 to put immigrants in the way of Black people. And this idea that the tension between business owners and customers is one of mutual cultural misunderstanding that could be overcome if they just got to know each other better, the time for that has long passed. And as I've said before, the problem with framing the misunderstanding as mutual is where one demographic owns the businesses and the other demographic has to pay. There's no mutuality. There is a power imbalance. The only situation that I could see being beneficial at this point would require Asian Americans to be willing to leverage their ability to secure the business loans, to secure supplier accounts, and to attain business licenses, to open in Black communities specifically to hire Black people to work in the businesses and to provide the professional development opportunities so that Black people can become the leadership in the businesses in their communities. But I don't have a lot of hope that Asian Americans are willing to do that because the Asian American business owners that we see currently are not even willing to treat their Black customers as human. So I fully support Black people boycotting these problematic businesses in their community. And I want to say that I think another thing that non-Black people aren't aware of is that it is not as simple as boycotting the businesses and putting them out of business and then opening your own to compete. Because the system will find ways to still not give them the loans or rezone them so they can't open a business or not grant the business licenses. And suppliers are literally conspiring against Black people who have managed to open a business in their own community to not supply to them because they don't want Black people competing with the Asian American owned businesses in the community. So I wish that I had more to offer in the way of solutions, but I really don't. But please do not gaslight Black people with respect to what the issue is.
I didn't have any real trouble getting supplies. My biggest hurdle was getting a fuel supplier to supply us with the fuel, and the underground tanks and all that other good stuff. But your beverages, cigarettes, and lottery is what you really make your money off of. Gas, you don't make that much money off of gas. You make about two on super. You make about 2 cents a gallon, cent and a half, 2 cents. I'll just make it 2 cents a gallon on super. And you make about 2.5 to 3 cents. Let's just make it 3 cents on regular, but you make almost a nickel on diesel. Almost. Okay, again, let's call it a nickel. The fuel is just to get you in here. So, because some people, just walk up to you and give you a 20 and say, put 20 on pump 5 and walk out. That happens. No big deal. Let him get his 20. You know what I'm saying? He rolled down the road. But most people come in and they'll give you a 20 and say, pump, put it on pump 5 again. They'll pump $12 and come inside. They got $8 change. They'll get 2 lottery tickets and a quart of beer. There you go. You know what I'm saying? That's the way it goes. Normally it goes that way more so than it do the other way. All right.